to Oobeldink, Oobeldink, Oobeldink ASMR. I am the aforementioned Oob, and today, we are going to be doing a very tiny book haul, and then just some like nice soft-spoken rambles thereafter. I feel like I haven't done a soft-spoken video or a book video in a little bit, so I have 3 books that I'm gonna show you guys and talk about for a bit that are new to me, recently come into my possession. And yeah, if that's all you care about, you can leave when I'm done with the books. After that, I'll probably just like ramble just about things going on in my life, a little bit of an update, if you will. But yeah, if you're only here for the books, just watch this first part and then be on your merry way. If not, just enjoy. So yeah, let's start with the books. So I have 3. 2 of them I bought new at a bookstore, and then the third I just stole from my parents' house because no one else was reading it. So the first one, well, actually, let's start with this, because this is, I think, I've wanted to have a copy of, I guess specifically Dante's Inferno, but I guess the overall, the entire Divine Comedy, because it's one of those like kind of classic works that you hear about all the time, and I thought I should have it to read at some point. So yeah, I don't really know that much. I know it's about the Inferno, at least is about him like going through the different circles of hell and all that, but I don't really know anything beyond that. There was a video game called Dante's Inferno that I think I maybe played on my PSP once. But anyways, yeah, Dante Alighieri, I think. This is his full name somewhere here. I don't think so. But from what I remember, that is how I imagine it's pronounced. But anyways, yeah, The Divine Comedy by Dante, one of my favorite, I guess like classic series, printings of like classic old books, or the Penguin Classics. And yeah, it's just nice. They always have very wonderful covers that do not make me like angry. Very nice artistic things that kind of go with the book generally. And if you're wondering what this piece of art here on the front is, it is said here on the back, and it is Angels of the Mandola Christi from The Last Judgment by Giotti di Bondone and Workshop, created between 1303 and 1306, and it is located on the west wall of the Arena Chapel in Padua, Italy. So there you go. Wonderful little big boy. It has 600 and like 50-ish, 677 pages. I will say I went down a bit of a rabbit hole on the different translations and which one to pick up before I went shopping, and this was just the one that they had, because I didn't actually read about this translated by Robin Kirkpatrick, but so this is sort of like an epic poem originally that, in Italian, the language it was written in, and it had like rhymes and all that stuff. There are different translations. Some of them translations to English, some of them try to kind of replicate the rhyme, and this is more of like kind of a prose translation, so it doesn't try to rhyme all the time. But there are some times that if if it fits, then they do add a rhyme. But if not, like if it doesn't fit with like the translation, then they will kind of leave it out. And I actually kind of like that, because with some translations of the Odyssey, which I've like looked at quite a few, sometimes I feel like they'll try so hard to get the rhyme in that you can kind of get away from kind of the clarity and the best way to interpret like the translation. You know what I'm saying? Like the best interpretation can sometimes be sacrificed for just fitting into the rhyme scheme. So with us, I kind of like this more of a, they don't allow that to happen like purposefully, so it is a little bit more like prose, but they do still maintain all the like line numbers and stuff for referencing, which is nice. But yes, very excited to, I'm not going to read this probably soon, but eventually I will get into this old epic. I'm not going to read the whole blurb because it's quite long, but I will read the first line, which is a quote from this book. This book. This man is one who, from the deepest void in all the universe, has seen thus far. So there you go. I do actually have my my Dostoevsky short story collection is one of the series as well. I will show it to you quickly actually. It is this boy over here. It looks way older than it is. I think I got this in 2019, but it looks I like it. It has a lot of character, quite aged, just because of like throwing it in backpacks and stuff. Yeah, this one I purposefully like take long breaks between reading the different short stories, and right now I am like in like the last couple of little like, chapters of The Gambler, which is like which is a novella. So yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot. But anyways, moving on to the next book that I have. It is Breakfast at Tiffany's by Truman Capote. Truman Capote. I forgot that I was soft speaking and not whispering. Again, actually this is another Penguin printing. I tend to like Penguin's I guess graphic design of their books. I always find it to be quite nice and like pleasing in general. But anyways, this is from their modern classics collection, so different from the previous. And yes, I'll be honest with you, I've heard about the movie with Audrey Hepburn. I'm so embarrassed that I don't straight up know that. But yeah, I heard about the movie. I have not seen it. But to be honest with you, the main reason I'm familiar with the movie is because of the song. I think it's from like the late 90s or the 2000s by Deep Blue something, where like the concept of the song is called Breakfast at Tiffany's, and the concept of it is that, well, I can just tell you the lyrics because I know them, because it's just one of those like random songs that I just, when it's in my head, I will listen to it on loop like a lot, and then once like that's satisfied my desire and like gets it out of my head, then I'll move on with my life, and then like months later I'll be like, oh shit, and I said what about Breakfast at Tiffany's, and then I'll like listen to it again. It's one of those. But basically it's about the speaker and his lover. They're sort of on the outs of their relationship. And what are the lyrics? You say we have nothing in common, no common ground to start from, and we're falling apart. And then I think there are other lines, but basically it's like, oh, we have nothing in common anymore. We have like nothing to talk about. Da, 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 da. We've grown apart, kind of vibes. And then he says, I said, what about Breakfast at Tiffany's? She said, I think I remember that film, and I recall, I think we both kind of liked it. And I said, well, that's the one thing we've got. So, you know, they've kind of grown apart, whatever your interpretation might be. But the one thing that they still have in common, even in this trying time of their relationship, is that they both like the film Breakfast at Tiffany's. So that's honestly why I'm familiar with it. But yeah, I thought I'd read the book that it is based on. It's quite fun so far. Again, I've heard about Truman Capote as well, from the movie starring old Philip Seymour Hoffman. And yeah, I'll read the blurb for this. It's New York in the 1940s, where the martinis flow from cocktail hour till breakfast at Tiffany's. And nice girls don't, except, of course, Holly. Wait, I emphasized the wrong things there. It's New York in the 1940s, where the martinis flow from cocktail hour till breakfast at Tiffany's. And nice girls don't, except, of course, Holly Golightly. Pursued by mafia gangsters and playboy millionaires, Holly is a fragile eye full of tawny hair and turned-up nose, a heartbreaker, a perplexer, a traveler, a tease. She's irrepressibly top banana in the shock department. That is in quotes. And one of the shining flowers of American fiction. This edition also contains 3 stories: House of Flowers, A Diamond Guitar, and A Christmas Memory. So, yes, it's quite fun so far. The book, this one I have started reading. I am 50 pages in. This is from the perspective of a writer who lives in the same building as that character that we spoke about, Holly Golightly. And it's just about like his interactions with her and like all this stuff. So, it's quite interesting so far. And yeah, as I said, I'm enjoying it. It is sort of its time, but you know, that's the way it is. So Breakfast at Tiffany's is about 100 pages, and then we have the other stories, House of Flowers, and it's actually exactly 100 pages, look at that. And then we have House of Flowers after that, and then A Diamond Guitar and A Christmas Memory. So yeah, this is the other book that I purchased along with The Divine Comedy. And as well, I forgot to credit the photograph in the front. The cover is by Elise Daniels, Flower, and the title is Flower Wristlet by Balmain, Pre-Catalan, Paris, August 1948. And then also you have a picture of Truman Capote himself, if you have not seen. And if you've not seen him before. And yes, I've been enjoying this so far. Very nice, very cool. Moving on to the next one. This is not a new book that I bought at a bookstore. This is a book that I found in my parents' house. This one actually not from my grandparents' collection, like most of these old books that I talk about. It's actually from my sister's little collection in her old bedroom at my parents' house. I believe she did this as part of her studies. She studied like English literature and media. And this is one of the set workbooks that she did. And yeah, she's not using it anymore. It was just on her old shelf in her old room at my parents' house. And if you've seen some of my other book videos, you know I love Camus. I have the Myth of Sisyphus by him, and also The Outsider. So I enjoy his writing. I also enjoy his philosophy, but from what although, you know what, I'm not going to say anything, because I don't actually know a lot about what this book is about, which actually makes me happy, because I lost my train of thought, because I don't know, like I feel like with these two, with The Outsider and The Myth of Sisyphus, I had a pretty good idea about what they were about, but this one I don't really know. Yeah, this is also a penguin. Published by Penguin. Oh my god, I'm like losing myself here. Modern classic as well, so the same series as Breakfast at Tiffany's, but obviously this is newer. Obviously I bought it new, and this is from, when was my sister in university? 2013, 14, and 15. So around that time, one of those years, I'm not sure which, was when this was purchased. I do prefer this with the like nice evocative little image. I guess this is not bad, but it's not incredible in my opinion. The like font I really don't like. It reminds me of like Rent the musical. But it just like feels kind of weird. Like it's almost too, like the font is almost too, it's not like enough of a blank slate for me, if that makes sense. Like it's evoking a very specific kind of thing, the font, and I prefer the more kind of, blank slate-ish thing of like this font and this design, because all the focus is kind of on the image, whereas here there is an image but the focus is more on the font, which I don't like that much. And then I will give you the credit for the front cover images. The design is by Pentagram, and the cover photograph is by Bruno Barbie of Magnum Photos, and then the picture of Mr. Camus of here at the back, which I'll show you right now, is by Hen Cartier-Bresson of Magnum Photos, and here you have an image of him with a cigarette in his mouth. Don't smoke, kids. Don't smoke, kids. It's not cool. But yeah, very, I feel like that's how I imagine him, with like his coat turned up and a cigarette. Lots of his like, anyways, that's just how I imagine him of all the like images. Yeah, he's a cigarette again in that little thing of the rebel. Anyways, yes, those are my three books, and that is gonna be the end of the book haul section. So for those that are only interested in the book section, you may feel free to leave. I'll give you some time. I'm gonna drink some water while they make their way out of the video, the theater. Okay, now I'm gonna assume, if you're watching at this point, that you're ready to hear me ramble a bit, which is what I'm gonna do. Let me actually just check how long I've been filming quickly. Like 20 minutes. So this is actually gonna be a bit of a long video, so I hope you enjoy. Well, depending on how long I ramble, which, I mean, knowing me, it'll probably be quite a while. So, basically, I got a car, my first car, and I'm just gonna tell you guys a little bit about that experience and my adventures. So, for the longest time, I was kind of anti-car and anti-buying a car, just because, honestly, when I was in university, so in South Africa, you can get your driver's license at 18. I am 24 as of this recording. So I actually went to get my learners when I turned 17, when you're allowed to, like the earliest you're allowed to. And then I just never went for driving lessons. And then my learners expired, and then when I was in university, when I want to say like 19, maybe 20, I think it was its second year, I can't remember. Anyways, at university I got because your learners expires after 2 years. And then I got another one, and I actually started going for lessons with a manual car. But I think, so we were doing it for a while, and then it was like the winter holidays to like June, July, holidays between the first and second semester. And the guy was like, okay, cool, yeah, like we'll start again after when you go back to university after holidays. And I was like, yeah, okay. And then I just never did because I was lazy. And also, honestly, I had kind of a stressful experience where we were like in traffic one day, and again, this is a manual car, and I kind of just got a bit frazzled, and like I stalled, I think, or something, and it was just like I just had a little bit of a panic. I think before that, someone else got like mad, like another driver got mad at me. I can't even for some other reason, and like that kind of put me on edge. And then the instructor like just did not help me feel less stressed about the whole situation, so I was kind of panicking a bit. And then we got like into the traffic, and then I kind of, again, I was frazzled after the thing with the other person who was like angry at me. Nothing, we didn't like actually interact with them, but they like looked at me and like hooted and whatever. And then my driving instructor just motioned to them just go on with your life. And then we were in the traffic, and like in a traffic jam kind of. And then I had some troubles like just getting started again. Like I stalled, and my driving instructor did not made me even more stressed and panicked, and it was just not nice. And I think that's part of the reason why I didn't want to continue with that instructor. But anyways, I never started again after that. I'm sorry if that made you feel a little stressed, but I'm okay. Let's actually take some breaths after that. Breathe in with me and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. In and out. Okay. Because I noticed even me retelling that story, I got a little bit, but I want you to relax, okay? Relax. But, so then my learners expired again. And then the beginning of this year, I said, no, this time we're gonna do it. So I think I actually got my learners the end of last year, and then I started going for lessons at the beginning of this year, and then I got my license in February, which is good for automatic, because I didn't want to deal with fucking clutch and shit. I just wanted the easiest possible route to being able to drive legally on the roads, and that is an automatic car license, which I have. And then, so yeah, I got my license in February. Then around March-ish, I was like, you know what, let's start looking for a car, because I've saved up money over the years. And I was kind of getting tired of walking to, specifically to drama classes and to the gym. Because we do have a nice little in the city, in around the CBD, a little public transport, my city bus system, which is actually quite nice, but sometimes it's just inconvenient. The time the bus comes is not when I wanna go to the gym or whatever, and I have to wait, and so it's just annoying. So I would walk, and I like walking, but also it's becoming winter now. Right now it's kind of raining. So walking just becomes inconvenient, and also it's tiring, and I'm honestly I'm sweaty when I get to the gym and do drama, which is not really what I want, because I tend if I walk relatively fast, which I guess is my own issue, but yeah, I just wanted to have a car, and also so I could drive to other places outside of the the buses area that it supports. So yeah, in March started looking for a car. My father is a big car guy, I am not, so we were both looking, and yeah, I just wanted a small automatic car that would be easy, no minimal issues, just A to B. It needs to just have aircon and Bluetooth, not even really with like just aux to like play my music. And yeah, after looking for a couple of weeks, my father, well, I think my father actually found it. We found my little, it's an i10, a Hyundai i10, from 2012. And you know, it is a very bare minimum car. It is tiny. And I also didn't want to have a white car, not really for any reason, just because I don't know, white is like very like the most common car color, and I wanted just something different. So that was like my one dumb requirement. Everything else I didn't really care. I just wanted it to be, you know, easy to drive and have aircon, whatever, automatic, etc., etc. It's silver, and then yeah, earlier this week I bought it, and dude, like the process for like test driving it and like buying it was so like surprisingly simple. So my father gave me a like list of things to ask. Well, actually, first, before I phoned the guy, my father told me, my father gave me a list of like things to ask on the phone, like when was the last service, other stuff that I can't remember right now, like how low can you go, etc. Like, you know, normal things that you ask when you are talking about a car. And then I went to the dealership. I was like happy. And then I went to the dealership the next day. That was on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday I went to the dealership. And I was so surprised. I went in and I was like, hey, I phoned this guy about that car over there. Can I like give it a look, have it a test drive? And they were like, yeah, sure, yeah, take the keys, go. And they just let me drive it, go for a test drive by myself. They didn't even ask like for my license or anything. So they didn't even know my name, I think, at this point, which is really strange. Maybe I'm a little cynical, but yeah, I was just really surprised. But they were like, oh yeah, go for a drive. Like no one was in the car with me. But anyways, I like drive just in a circle basically. And I like checked all this. My father again gave me like a list of stuff to like check if the little windows work, look if there's like a spare wheel, etc., 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 all this stuff. And I did all that, and I was really happy with the car. And then I was like, cool, I'll buy it. And then the next day, and the dealership like handles like putting it in my name and all the registration stuff. And then the next day the dude phoned me, the dealership guy, and he was like, hey, you can like pick up the car today if you want. You'll just have like a temporary like number plate because we're still like waiting on all the paperwork to go through. And I was like, hell yeah, dude. And then I picked the car up on Wednesday. I phoned on Monday. I went to look at it and take a test drive on Tuesday. Wednesday I picked it up, yes. And yeah, and then I drove back home, like a decent kind of trip from the dealership. But I can't remember, sorry, how many kilometers it was. But yeah, I drove home. And then my sister visited me, and she like came to like look at the car, and like she drove it for a bit as well. We literally like drove just around the block. I drove like half of the way, and then she drove back. And yeah, it is a tiny car. I am about like at the max dimensions, but like I don't mind. So I'm not gonna be holding like probably more than one passenger, to be honest with you, which I'm probably not gonna do anyways. But yeah, it's fun. I do also kind of like the gimmick of like me being a relatively tall boy and having like my guitar is like a mini guitar. It's not like full size. It's not a ukulele. It's an electric guitar. But it's like the neck is short, and so I think, I don't know, I enjoy the inherent comedy of tall boy with like a small thing. So it's kind of like a clown car vibe with me and my car, which I enjoy. It's kind of fun. But yeah, I've just been driving a lot because it's still like novel to me, just having a car. So, as I said, on Wednesday I drove with my sister for a little bit. On Thursday I drove. In the morning I actually drove to my gym. I did not use the gym, but I just wanted to see how the parking situation was, because we have free parking at my gym. So I just wanted to kind of see what that was, and you get the ticket and you like stamp it in the actual gym, and then it's free when you like you don't have to pay when you give it back to the machine. So yeah, I did that in the morning, and my gym is like a 5 minute, maybe even less than 5 minute drive, so like nothing major. And then I went to drama, which is another like 5 minute drive from my apartment. And then after drama was after work. And then after drama, I went to like the closest kind of mall to to just buy. Again, that's like a 10-15 minute drive maybe from my apartment. And literally I just bought literally I bought just like a little car air freshener, and I think a packet of like lozenges just to have in the car. I like a good lozenge. It's like my go-to like car snack, I guess. Very like strong, like menthol, like lozenge sweet thing. It's like, oh, I love those. So yeah, I bought those 2 items and then I drove back home. But I will say it was good practice kind of for night driving, because drama finished at 7, and it was already dark at that point because it's kind of moving into winter. So I think it was like a good like short trip to kind of get my like night driving kilometers in. And then on Friday I went out with my family after work. So I drove, and that was like driving on the national road, which was actually not too bad. But yeah, I also went into the office on Friday, another like 15-minute drive. But I had to park in the office because my power was off for like 4 hours, and my like laptop would not last for that long for work. So I had to, for the parking, you have to go on the like swirlies for like 5 levels until you get to the parking. So that was kind of scary, but I'm glad I did it. I'm sure I'll get less scared of all the stuff, and also I purposefully wanted to like try to park a lot, like going to drama I had to park, and obviously going to like when I ate with my family, just to like get used to it. Even though I like can park, I just have to practice, so I'm not as scared of all this stuff. But yeah, and then today, which is Saturday, I was at my parents, so my father could like take a look at the car. Obviously, as I said, he's a car guy, so he was very interested, and also just so he could show me like when I bought it. Also when I like went for a test drive, I looked at the engine and I was like, hey, that's an engine, and I closed it because I didn't know like what I was really doing. Actually, no, I took out the dipstick, but I didn't know what I was looking for, as I said. So I just went on with my life. But yeah, my father like told me, okay, this is how you check the like engine, like the oil and the automatic transmission fluid, and blah 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 blah. Which was nice, and he was like happy. He was like everything looked good. He was happy with the car. Da 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 da. And then yeah, I drove back home, which the drive to my parents is like 40 minutes to an hour. Let's actually say like 50 minutes, maybe 45 to an hour, depending on the traffic, because they live in the suburbs and I like live closer to the CBD in the city. So, but yeah, again, that's probably the longest trip I'm ever gonna make regularly is to my parents' house. So yeah, because as I said, most like going to drama, going to the office, or like the closest mall, or like 15 minute, 10 minute or less, mostly like 5 minutes. So yeah, Yeah, I guess that's my little story. I am a car owning human. I will at some point recreate my first ASMR video, which was like just doing ASMR in the old car that is still in my parents' backyard, but I'll probably do that in my actual car at some point now, just because I think that would be fun. Maybe for like 1,000 subscribers, I might do that. But yeah. I've been enjoying just driving around and stuff. I don't know if I'm gonna go driving again today, because as I said, I drove back from my parents, but tomorrow I'll probably go out and do something, like go to the farmer's market or something like that. But yes, that is my little story. I hope you enjoyed. I hope I can help you relax, take your mind off whatever. I hope I can help you achieve whatever you wanted to achieve by clicking this video. And yeah. Oh, my car's name is Bartholomew, by the way. Bartholomew the Second. I did consider, because I name all of my like technological devices. I guess a car is a technological device. I guess I don't really name a lot of them actually. My phone. Anyways, my car is Bartholomew the Second because that car that I actually filmed my first ASMR video in was Bartholomew the First, and like I think the plan when I was in high school was that was gonna be my car, but my father and I, my father determined like, no, this car has been like sitting for too long. For us to like repair it would be too much, like way much more trouble than it would have been worth. And in that time when I was still thinking it was gonna be my car, when we were like thinking we were gonna fix it up, I called it Bartholomew. But obviously, that didn't end up happening. But now my new car is Bartholomew the Second. And yeah. Oh, by the way, it's not new, it's used. It's like, it was from, I think I don't know if I mentioned, it's from like 2012. So like, I'm not buying a new car, guys. Like, don't, no. I would never do that because I just don't care about cars that much. But anyways, yes, his name is Bartholomew the Second. But I thought it's actually fine because all of my plants are ladies. They have lady names like Charlotte and Carlotta and Cherie. I'm looking at them as I'm saying this. So yeah, I thought it's fine. It would be fine to have a boy car, But anywho, I bid you adieu, myself and Bartholomew the Second that is parked outside, and Carlotta and Charlotte and Cherie. We all wish you a wonderful evening or day or whenever you're watching this. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.